The war took a shocking turn when reports emerged that 4 of Russia's most senior military generals were eliminated in precision Ukrainian strikes, a moment that sent shockwaves straight to the Kremlin and exposed what many now call Vladimir Putin's biggest setback of the war. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Impact Report. Please subscribe my channel because what you're about to hear explains not just how these generals were taken out, but why this moment may change the entire course of the conflict. The story begins far from the front lines, inside intelligence rooms where Ukraine and its allies spent months quietly mapping Russian command structures, tracking movement patterns, phone signals, and even habits of senior officers who believed they were untouchable. As the war dragged on, Russia increasingly relied on high-ranking generals to personally visit frontline positions to fix failures, boost morale, and restore order. That decision, meant to project strength, would soon become a deadly weakness. Outside the battlefield, satellite surveillance, intercepted communications, and human intelligence began to converge. Ukrainian forces learned when and where senior commanders gathered, how long they stayed, and what security measures were relaxed due to overconfidence. These weren't random hits, they were calculated, patient, and devastatingly precise. Inside Russian command centers, chaos was already brewing. Conflicting orders, outdated maps, and poor coordination forced generals to move closer to combat zones. Unlike NATO-style command structures that emphasize decentralization, Russia's top-down system required generals to be physically present. This structural flaw placed them directly in harm's way. The performance of Ukraine's military intelligence became the backbone of these operations. Real-time battlefield data allowed Ukrainian forces to synchronize drones, artillery, and long-range missiles with deadly accuracy. Once a general's location was confirmed, strike assets were positioned quietly, sometimes waiting hours or days for the perfect window. One general was reportedly eliminated when a command post was struck moments after he arrived, suggesting precise timing based on intercepted calls. Another was killed when Ukrainian artillery targeted what appeared to be a routine inspection visit. The strikes were fast, overwhelming, and left little chance for escape. Safety features that normally protect senior officers, such as layered air defense, electronic jamming, and decoy movements, either failed or were bypassed. Ukrainian forces adapted by using low-flying drones, precision-guided munitions, and unpredictable attack patterns that overwhelmed Russian defenses. In some cases, Russian air defense units were unaware they were protecting a high-value target until it was too late. The interior of Russia's military system tells a deeper story. Corruption, poor training, and outdated communication equipment created gaps that Ukraine exploited ruthlessly. Encrypted systems were inconsistently used, and some commanders relied on civilian phones, making them vulnerable to tracking. This single weakness proved fatal. Ukraine's unique selling point in this war has been adaptability. Unlike Russia's rigid command structure, Ukrainian units operate with flexibility, sharing intelligence quickly and acting independently when opportunities arise. This allowed rapid execution once a target was identified. There was no hesitation, no bureaucratic delay, only action. Each elimination carried a psychological price far greater than its tactical value. Generals are not just commanders, they are symbols of authority. Their deaths shattered morale among Russian troops, many of whom already felt abandoned and poorly equipped. Rumors spread quickly, fear followed, and trust in leadership eroded further. The cost or price of these strikes cannot be measured in money alone. For Russia, the loss meant disrupted operations, delayed offensives, and confusion across multiple fronts. Replacing a general is not like replacing a soldier. Experience, battlefield knowledge, and authority vanish instantly. For Ukraine, the price was calculated risk, using valuable intelligence assets and revealing some capabilities. But the payoff was immense. Internationally, the message was loud and clear. Ukraine demonstrated that even the highest-ranking Russian officials were not safe. This shifted global perceptions of the war, reinforcing Ukraine's image as a capable, modern fighting force rather than an underdog. As news reached Moscow, Vladimir Putin faced mounting pressure. Publicly, the Kremlin downplayed the losses. Privately, emergency meetings reportedly followed. security protocols were tightened, movements restricted, and trust within the military leadership fractured. Fear replaced confidence. These eliminations forced Russia to pull generals further from the front, slowing decision-making and reducing battlefield effectiveness. Ironically, the very act meant to protect leadership weakened operational control, handing Ukraine another advantage. In the long run, this moment may be remembered as a turning point, not because 4 individuals were lost, but because the illusion of invincibility collapsed. Ukraine proved that intelligence, precision, and adaptability can overpower sheer numbers. The conclusion is unavoidable. Ukraine didn't just eliminate 4 senior Russian generals, it exposed the weaknesses at the heart of Russia's war machine, delivered a psychological blow to the Kremlin, and reshaped the balance of power on the battlefield. Putin's biggest setback wasn't the loss of personnel, it was the realization that control is slipping, and the war may no longer be fought on his terms.